These are the exact books that I would save if my house caught on fire. Hopefully that never happens, because if I would make this video, post it, and then my house would catch on fire, I would just go insane. Yeah, let's go. Okay, I haven't chosen the books yet, so we're gonna have to do that together, because I think that's the most interesting part, to go through the thought process of a person who's choosing the books that they would say. Well, you get it. The thought process is the most interesting aspect of it, for me at least. So we're gonna go through all of these books together and see exactly what I would save from the physical books that I have. I don't know about the ones that I don't physically own. If you don't own them, you don't have to save them. That's the fun part of not owning, physical books. And also, don't save books if your house or apartment catches on fire. Save yourself and your loved ones and stuff. Just felt like I needed to mention that. And also, I don't have a house, I have an apartment, so I just really like how the word house sounds like. Where are we starting? By the way, Edgy is sleeping. He's right there. He's so cute. And my outfit is so H2O coded. You can't see the whole thing, but trust me, I feel like Emma or Ricky right now. And Ricky was so underrated too. And I'm so sorry for her. I never wanted to be Ricky, but now I think she's kind of the best. I think we're gonna start there. In here, what do we have in here that I would like to save? Okay, I already see one. Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut. There's a simple reason why I would save this. It was the first book my boyfriend and I read together. Well, it wasn't together, honestly. When we met, he lent me this book and I read it and we had a conversation about it. It's such a beautiful memory to just remember, as you do with memories, and we have our notes on it, and I really would not want to let this burn. So okay, next we do have a little life here, which my copy looks like this. It's such a brick. I loved this book, but right now I can't remember so much about it that I would want to save it. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. Okay, The Song of Achilles, I have it in a Romanian version, and I really wanted it in a Romanian version because the first time I read it was in Romanian. I got it from the library and I had to give it back, and then I wanted to buy a copy for myself but couldn't find it anywhere, and when I did find it, it was like $50 and I didn't want to pay this much for one, and then it got reprinted. Anyway, I would not save this because it's not the copy, it's not the physical copy that I read, but if it was, then I would have saved this. Okay, I think that's all from this particular shelf. This is a little bit more interesting. I have the Bible here. This is what my Bible looks like. I should probably take it out of here and start reading it again. So we have this author in Romania. She's dead. She's been dead for a while, but she's called Ileana Vulpescu, and I did read one book from her that I absolutely loved, but this particular one I did not get to, but I would save the other one when we get to it. Call Me By Your Name. You know what? I am saving Call Me By Your Name. It was one of my first favorite books ever. I just loved the movie and I adored the book. I was very impressionable at 16, if you believe it. I can't let it go. Too many notes to let it go. Another Romanian author that you might have never heard of, Cela Serghi. I love this book. Translated into English, I think it would be something like on the... You know what? Never mind. In Romanian, it's called Pe firul de păianjen al memoriei. And this book has taken me out of a very strong reading slump 7 years ago, and I still remember it. But I wouldn't save it. I'm sorry. One that I would save though is The Happy Prince and Other Stories by Oscar Wilde. I just have such a soft spot for short stories like this. They just make me so emotional and I just couldn't live without them. They just feel to me as if they're little nuggets of wisdom. And I do feel in this case, like fiction is much more intense and stronger at teaching lessons than nonfiction is. What else? On this shelf, you know what? I do have to save Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut too, because it's become my boyfriend's favorite book, and I would not want to leave him without. I did read this too, and I absolutely loved it, but it's not my favorite Kurt Vonnegut. My favorite Kurt Vonnegut is Sirens of Titan. So that one we're for sure saving. But this one too. I don't want to leave him without his favorite book. I think that's it for this shelf. Let's go down. Oh, how I didn't even put a cap to how many books I can save. Because I can't save them all. You know, how many can I carry? I think I'm gonna go with 6. And I already have 4, so that's not good. You know what, we're gonna go with 7, so we're gonna have to think about it a little better, or maybe we're gonna look through the ones that we already saved so that we let go of some of them. In here we have Orwell's 1984, A Clergyman's Daughter. We have Robin Sloan, one of my favorite sci-fi fantasy writers. We have Orwell Coming Up for Air. This is Alan Watts' The Wisdom of Insecurity, and I remember reading this in a day and feeling so happy. So I'm just gonna put this away and we'll think about that later. I haven't read these titles. Oh, The Sirens of Titan. Yeah, putting this away. We're gonna go through them. We're just gonna go through them later. I absolutely love this, and the reason why I liked this more than Slaughterhouse-Five and Breakfast of Champions is because I felt like this one was the most immersive one in terms of world building, character building, and just it was also the funniest and the most absurd one that I read from him. Well, probably the most absurd is Breakfast of Champions. I don't know, I just think this is the most cinematic one that I read. So you know how I feel about this book. Ray Bradbury, Something Wicked This Way Comes. Listen, I don't hate Ray Bradbury, but I hate this book. I actually love Ray Bradbury. I think he's great. It's just that the writing in this book is so awful, and the story is it leaves a lot to be desired. Honestly, I wish it would have been longer and better written. I think this is all from this shelf, although I'm thinking of keeping one from Orwell. Okay, we're gonna choose one. Coming Up for Air, Keep the Aspidistra Flying. Which one did I like more? A Clergyman's Daughter. Okay, it's okay. A Clergyman's Daughter and 1984. Oh, I just saw another one that I want to save, and this is a very little one, so it doesn't matter if we add it. E.M. Forster's The Machine Stops, definitely going in. This is a lesser known book, and E.M. Forster is not as appreciated as he should be, I would say. This is kind of a precursor to 1984, Brave New World. It was written before them, and I feel like 1984 and Brave New World kind of emulate what this book gives off. So we're just gonna leave that there. And from Orwell, I don't know if I want to save any of these. Maybe I should save 1984, which, by the way, look at this cover, it's so beautiful. I think I'm gonna put this away. Yeah, why am I talking so fast? Okay, let's get up. Now this shelf is something else. Look at it. It looks so Instagrammable. It looks so good. What do I have on it? I have some E.M. Forster. I have some Otessa Moshfegh. Death in Her Hands, we're definitely saving. I don't care. I do not care. I'm gonna kick every other book out of there and save this one. For some reason, I have another copy of Slaughterhouse-Five. I actually know why. It's because my friend still works at the bookstore I used to work at, and whenever they get free books, she asks me if I want any, and I just got this as to give it away as a gift. I don't know, the perfect person to give this away to hasn't come yet. I haven't read everything from this shelf. I do have some Hermann Hesse here, and Hermann Hesse is one of my favorite writers ever. Damien is one of my favorite books ever, and I would save it. It's just that I did not read this particular copy. I don't know if I would heavy my burden with just a random book that doesn't have any notes of mine on it. When I read it, it was on Kindle, and then I just bought it because I want to reread it, but I can just buy another copy anytime. So I'm just gonna put it back. Just know it's one of my favorite books in the whole world. And also another one of Hermann Hesse's another one of his books is The Glass Bead Game, and this one I did not get to yet. It's a brick of a book, and I cannot wait to read it. I don't know if I should save Throne of Glass. I feel like this is a very important book for me because it just shaped my adolescence. I remember when I finished this series, I was sad for a week. I can't explain to you. These are my notes. I think they were the first notes that I ever took on a book. So I'm just gonna put it aside and we'll look over it later. Okay, I think it's safe for us to go here. Okay, I'm just gonna take you. The Vampire Academy series. I absolutely adored this one. Another series that has shaped my adolescence, but I did not really take notes on it, so I'm not gonna save any one of them, even though they are such compact books. I'm just gonna leave them here to die. The Hunger Games, leaving them here. You know what? I do have the perfect book to save. The Art of War by Sun Tzu. You can find this anywhere. But I did take some notes on it and I don't want to leave it behind. All right, 2 more books on this shelf that I would save. The Mystery of Human Relationship by Nathan Schwartz Salant. This is kind of a Jungian perspective on, well, Jungian and alchemical, I would say, more of an alchemical perspective on human relationships, and it's so interesting, and I can't believe I read it. And the next one is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I do have 2 copies of Meditations as well, but it's just that this one being paperback and it having my notes on it, this is the one that I'm saving. The other one is a much more classy edition, and it's hardback, and I don't think I need a heavy load. Okay, apparently this shelf is full of books that I would save. Okay, I'm gonna take you down here because I'm gonna have to take them out of the shelf and I'm sitting on my knees and it's hurting, so... Alright, hope you enjoyed that. San Clemente is the most expensive book that I own. It's about $400. Again, got it for free, just by pure luck, and it's a photography book. I just want to save it just for the feeling that I had when I got it, because I was taking a lot of photos at the time and I really wanted to be a photographer, and this just fell into my hands. I took it as a sign that I should pursue photography, but you know what? I never actually did. The next 3 books that I have are actually signed by the authors. All of them mean so much to me. Maybe you should see my eyes. I'm gonna start with Marin Sorescu, who is an amazing Romanian author he died a very long time ago. I got this book when I was doing inventory for a used bookstore. I figured out that it has his autograph on it, just so that you get a little bit of context about who he is. We are taught his poems in school all the time. I fell in love with his poems after I finished high school. I just adore the guy, so I would definitely save this, even though the copy is just disheveled. That's my cat. Alright, shut up! The next book that I would absolutely save, or at least the first page I would save it. She's one of my favorite writers ever, of all time. I already saved one of her books in there. Okay, I'm gonna go do something about that. I did just lock him in the bedroom because I'm not gonna film for more than 10 minutes. And I already have the dog here. Can't do anything about that. Yeah, let's get back to Otessa Mosfeg. I have her autograph and I'm gonna tell you the exact story of how I got it. Again, still, this ties up to my working in a bookstore. What do you know? I was working at an online bookstore this time that was selling new books, and Lapvona just came out and I just read it on my Kindle. And then this girl placed an order for a signed copy of Lapvona, and I didn't know that she placed an order for a signed copy. Anyway, what happened is that this has a defect, which is this one. I gave her a photo and she said she didn't want it, that she wanted a new copy, so I ordered her a new copy, and then I took this copy home. It was just another one of those moments when I realized that the universe is working for me. That is amazing. So that's definitely gonna be saved, or at least just the page that she wrote in. This is one of my least favorite books that she wrote, but it's still one of, it's still a great book. The next one, I do have to do a little bit of explaining, I guess. So I love films about outcasts, and I watched and read Into the Wild. The book is by John Krakauer. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. Anyway, so I was in this state of just wanting to be an outcast myself or whatever, and then I was looking for similar movies. So I found this movie with Reese. The movie's called Wild. I just read and watched Into the Wild, and now I watched Wild. And I really wanted to read the book too after watching that movie, and I ordered Wild by Cheryl Strayed, which is the book that the movie was made after. So I'm gonna go have some water. So I was talking with no one for 5 minutes. I'm back, okay? I don't have any battery. Now you see me, now you don't. I did bring myself a cigarette and some coffee so that I'm a little more chill. I do have low blood pressure. Is that the word? Cheryl Strayed. I don't know if I mentioned. Did I get to mention that? I was really thirsty. I wanted to read the book. I was really lucky and found it in stock at one of the used bookstores I worked at. Apparently, it is indeed signed. She came to Romania 10 years ago or something. I don't know when this book came out. She came to Romania. I just got so lucky to find one of the signed copies. So I haven't read this book yet, and I bought it 5 years ago. And that's pretty embarrassing. The thing with Cheryl Strayed and me is that I did read one of her books and I really enjoyed it. It was called Dear Sugar, I think, which was a nonfiction book as well. And it was her answering, giving advice to different questions and just life things that people were presenting to her. And I read that book and it was great. Okay, I think we should take a break to look through everything we've chosen so far and see what we're keeping. Call Me By Your Name, I think we're gonna leave aside from now, I don't know. We are keeping E.M. Forster. Slaughterhouse 5, I'm gonna put this away for now. The Sirens of Titan, gonna put it away. The Wisdom of Insecurity, I'm just gonna save it for now. Breakfast of Champions, definitely keeping it for my boyfriend. And Death in Her Hands for myself. I forgot to mention, I would definitely save Stoner by John Williams too. It's just that my boyfriend started reading it and it's in the bathroom. I'm not gonna go get it, but definitely Stoner would be in there. The Happy Prince and Other Stories. I don't know. I'm gonna say no for now. In 1984. No, I'm not taking this. From this pile, I don't know what we're taking. I think nothing. You know what? I think I'm just gonna put them away because I just want the best ones. And these are really great, but I don't know. It's kind of a lot to take with you, don't you think? And we are taking the first pages with the autographs from these two. We are taking this whole book with Marin Sorescu's autograph. And this whole book. Alright, we're gonna go through the rest very fast. First, let's calm down and smoke for a bit. This is so crazy, imagine. It's one of my biggest fears, honestly, for my library to burn down. Well, I don't think it's officially considered a library because I don't have 1,000 books yet, but I have... Do I have 1,000 books? No, I think I have closer to 500 books. But I remember when I was a kid just starting to get into reading, I was about 15, I had like 3 books. No, I had around 7 books and just bought a bookshelf. I made that bookshelf look so good, man. With the 7 books that it had in it, it looked fantastic and it was my dream come true. So cheers to that. Let's see what else we're saving from the fire. Somebody care to explain why I have 2 of these? I literally just found this there and I'm sure I just showed it to you. I was not aware of this, but I have 2. Is it for the same reason that I just described to you earlier? Because my friend works at the bookstore that I used to work at and blah blah blah. This is not the one that I read. This is the one that I read, which I took notes on. Okay, this is interesting. I was not aware that I had to. The Portrait of Dorian Gray. This is the edition that I read. It's in Romanian. Read it at 16 years old. And I got this edition 4 years ago. It has such a cool cover. I'm thinking about saving this. We'll see. I don't have many books left. I think I chose all the books. R.C. Sheriff's Journey's End. This is such a small book. I was thinking, what would it be like if you had a bookshelf ready for situations like your house burning down, just like you would hopefully have a backpack ready for extreme situations with everything you need inside it, which I don't have, but I really should. Anyway, yeah, Journeys, and I would totally save this. I love this book so much. So, The Voice of the Master by Khalil Gibran. You've probably read The Prophet by him, which is one of my favorite books. I would not save The Prophet because I've had probably 5 different editions of that, and each one of them I gave away. It wouldn't be hard to just buy another one, but this was my only edition of The Voice of the Master, and it's just full of wisdom. And I remember the time of my life that I was in when I read this. I was feeling really lonely, and it was very close to my birthday, and I went to a play of The Little Prince, and it was kind of a musical too. Anyway, I was reading this that day. I found Books versus Cigarettes by Orwell. Hi, new plan. We are filming here with him. Books versus Cigarettes by Orwell. I think is one of my favorite Orwell books. Well, it definitely is. I don't just think. It must be, I think, my favorite Orwell book. Or A Clergyman's Daughter. I would save it, but I'm not quite sure. So the titles that we're not absolutely sure of, I'm not gonna save. We are not saving Throne of Glass. It's just too big. There's no point in having just the first book of the series if I can't have the full series with me. Saving Sun Tzu, I am saving the Portrait of Dorian Gray. Corpus Hermeticum by the Divine Pymander. I took so many notes on it and it just came to me at exactly the perfect time. Saving this. And the last two, Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men. This is not the edition that I read. This is an edition that I found accidentally. It just looks so beautiful and it was the first Steinbeck I ever read and I can't let it go. And the last one I was thinking of saving, but it's just too heavy to be saved. But if weight wasn't a problem, I would save Nostalgia by Mircea Cărtărescu. This is one of the first books that I ever read. Well, more so, I was actually reading the books inside the book because it's got short stories inside it that are also published separately. But some of them I did tab, so I must have read some from this edition as well. I have a very intimate relationship with Mircea Cărtărescu. That's how it feels to me, at least. I just fell in love with him when I was a teenager. I fell in love with his writing. It also helps that he's a Gemini. He's born actually on International Children's Day, which is June 1st, and I also met him on June 1st. He autographed my book, For Gabriela with Good Thoughts, M. Cărtărescu. I think I'm gonna try to save it. These are all the books I would save, guys. Let's see how I would look like saving them. I would just do this and just throw them so that I wouldn't have to carry them, because the $400 book is pretty good for keeping them all together. Okay, that's okay. Call Me By Your Name by Andre Aciman. Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut. The Mystery of Human Relationship by Nathan Schwartz Salant. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. The Portrait of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Corpus Hermeticum Of Mice and Men by Steinbeck. Nostalgia by Mircea Cărtărescu. The Art of War by Sun Tzu. The Voice of the Master by Khalil Gibran. Journey's End by R.C. Scherer. Drumul by Marin Sorescu. The Signed Page of Lapvona. The Signed Page of Wild by Cheryl Strayed. Death in Her Hands by Otessa Moshfegh. Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut, because it's my boyfriend's favorite book. The Wisdom of Insecurity by Alan Watts. The Machine Stops by E.M. Forster. Stoner by John Williams. My favorite book ever. And to hold them all together, to be easy to just throw out, San Clemente by Raymond Depardon. Okay, say bye to Edgy now. Bye!